Be certain to use all appropriate safety gear while installing your project. Proper eye and hearing protection is a must. These instructions assume the deck above is level. If that is not the case, adjust your measurements accordingly. Welcome to Magnolia Underdeck's installation video. This installation is depicted on an indoor deck structure measuring at the outside extremes 9 feet 6 inches by 4 feet 6 inches. We picture untreated lumber. Pressure-treated lumber is actually used throughout. The measurements shown in this video are for illustration only. The actual measurements and calculations will use your project's dimensions as their basis. For our purposes in this demonstration, we imagine the structure side to be the high side of the underdeck. Our layout begins by measuring at least 3 inches from the bottom of the rim joist on the structure. This is the height of the ceiling at the high side of the underdeck. This measurement is taken on both sides of the deck. Snapping a chalk line may be helpful. Determine the level and pitch of the ceiling at the gutter. The underdeck drops 1/8 inch per foot toward the gutter. Our example is 9 feet deep. The drop of the ceiling is 1 1/8 inches. That plus the 3-inch starting drop is 4 1/8 inches. The gutter drops an additional 1/16 inch per foot toward the downspout. Our example gutter is 4 feet long. It drops 4/16 or 1/4 inch. Add that to the 4 1/8 inch drop on the upstream end for a 4 3/8 inch total drop. The trim board on the right side of the underdeck is tapered from 3 inches to 4 1/8 inches to define the drop of the panels on the upstream side of the gutter. The trim board on the left or downstream side of the gutter is tapered from 4 1/8 inches at the gutter to 3 inches at the high side of the underdeck. These measurements correspond to the calculations made for the ceiling drop made at the gutter. Attach the trim board below the deck's band boards at the upstream and downstream ends. Repeat on the opposite side. Support the trim boards in the middle of their span by driving screws diagonally upwards into the band board, taking care not to protrude the screw tip through the outside of the band board. To determine the placement of the gutter, square across the support post level with the bottom of each of the newly installed trim boards. These marks will also reflect the fall of the gutter toward the downspout. The gutter support board is a 2x4 whose top edge is located at the marks corresponding with the bottom of the trim boards and flush with the inside surface of the support posts. Fasten the gutter support board with screws to hold it firmly in place. To finish the appearance of the underdeck seen from the outside, cut a trim board that fits between the support posts and against the deck's band board above. The bottom of the trim board is cut tapered to follow the drop of the gutter toward the downspout. Square across from the bottom of the gutter support board to the outside edge of the support post on both sides of the gutter span. The measurement between the deck's band board to the mark equals 3 inches plus the drop to the high side of the gutter, which is 1 inch, plus the thickness of the gutter support board, which is 3 1/2 inches, for a total of 7 1/2 inches. Add 1/4 inch to accommodate the drop toward the downspout for a total of 7 3/4 inches. The trim board is cut to fit snugly between the support posts. Transfer the measurements you just made to the corresponding ends of the trim board and cut the taper to fit. Screw the trim board inconspicuously to the support posts. A decorative U-channel is attached flush in the space between the bottom of the trim board and the gutter support board. Trim and install the gutter. The gutter is trimmed to match the outside dimensions of the deck. Attach end caps to the gutter, crimp and seal them. Mark the opening of the downspout adapter and cut the opening. Insert the downspout adapter and seal the joint from leaking. The top edge of the gutter end cap must sit against the bottom of the deck's bandboard for the gutter to fit properly. To accommodate this, cut a notch even with the end cap and at least 1 1/2 inches deep across the gutter. Repeat this on both ends of the gutter. Hang the gutter and hold it in place with a couple of screws. Install the gutter hanger under every second joist. A conventional gutter hanger's length causes the bottom of the gutter to tilt down, collecting standing water on the front edge of the bottom of the gutter, leading to corrosion. Magnolia's custom gutter hangers are 1/2 inch shorter, and they lift the front of the gutter so the bottom of the gutter is level, eliminating that standing water. This is not a problem when the gutter is installed outside on a home. There, sunshine and air movement will dry out standing water in a properly installed and maintained gutter. Magnolia also supplies a spray-on zinc coating with each system. When applied, it reduces the possibility of corrosion in the gutter. The gutter flashing is trimmed to fit between each set of support posts. Its purpose is to direct water from above into the gutter and to prevent water from reaching the U-channel just installed. Fit the flashing so that the top edge fits against the trim board just installed and the bottom edge hangs over the back of the gutter. It is manufactured to fit the size of your support posts. Install the gutter joist hangers. Screw the gutter joist hanger to the joist above. Install one on every gutter hanger. Remember, the gutter supports the weight of the panels on that end of the underdeck. Install the joist gutter hanger toward the back side of the gutter to ensure there is enough room to allow for the eventual removal of a panel. Seal along the edge of the gutter flashing, the top edge of the gutter where it meets the support post, and the top edge of the gutter flashing. Install a corner cap. The corner cap in this position is a layer of protection that protects from leaks from the tops of the support posts. Pressure-treated posts have a tendency to split as they dry. If this split is on the top of the post, water could travel down the post and show up as a leak. The corner cap diverts the water away from the post and onto the panels. Place corner caps above each of the support posts and attach them to the deck's bandboards, ensuring they are pointed down for drainage. Apply and spread sealant. Attach the corner box with a single screw into the trim board. Install the wall channels. With the tape measure hooked on the inside lip of the gutter, measure to the edge of the corner box. The cutout on the gutter end of the wall channel fits against the outside edge of the gutter. Measure from there the distance to the edge of the corner box. If the wall channel were cut at this length, it would fit into the corner box by the thickness of the gutter lip, about 5/8 of an inch. This measurement need not be exact. An inch or so is a good minimum. The major consideration being that the wall channel not be cut so long that it interferes with the back wall channel when it is installed. After cutting the wall channel to length, lay a bead of sealant across the top of each end of the wall channel. This prevents water from flowing over the end of the wall channel into the corner box and showing as a leak. Rest the wall channel on the gutter with the edge of the notch even with the edge of the gutter. Place the trimmed end of the wall channel in the corner box. Locate the gutter end of the wall channel precisely on the edge of the gutter. Drive a screw to hold the wall channel in place. Place the screws in the uppermost part of the wall channel to provide the best appearance of the joint where the wall channels and ceiling panels meet. A third screw midway along the length of a longer wall channel will be helpful. Fold the tabs on the corner box to hold the wall channel in place. Pressing up on the bottom of the corner box while folding the tab makes a better looking joint. A 3-inch seamer finishes the job nicely. Repeat the process to install the second wall channel on the opposite side. Seal and install the corner box. Measure and trim the wall channel. Apply sealant to the top side of the wall channel to prevent water from flowing into the corner box. Screw the trimmed wall channel into place. Fold the tabs down to lock the wall channel into place. It is important that wall channels meeting in corner boxes not overlap. Measure the length of the back wall channel with this in mind. A wall channel does not need to be inserted more than an inch or so into any corner box for adequate support. The procedure for trimming and installing the back wall channel is the same as previously shown. The back wall channels bear the weight of the underdeck with the gutter. With this in mind, screw the wall channel to the structure under every other joist or every 32 inches. Apply sealant above the newly installed perimeter. A corner cap is also attached to the structure above every corner box. It provides a double layer of protection against leaks. Be certain the corner cap is tilted downward for drainage. Any water that falls on it is directed onto the wall channels or onto the ceiling panels. Seal the corner caps. Seal along the top of the wall channels. After applying the sealant, smooth it into the cracks between the metal and the lumber. Test for leaks by spraying a thin stream of water onto the sealant. If any leaks show up below, you can reseal immediately. Sealant may be repaired when it is wet. A wire nut on the end of the sealant nozzle is helpful. The sealant can be messy. Apply and water test the sealant anywhere water may contact the wall channels, corner boxes, corner caps, or the back of the gutter. Be careful when applying and testing the sealant. It is far easier to correct any leaks at this stage of the installation than deal with them later on as a customer complaint. Install the long panel latch suspension board. The panel latches are attached to a 1x4 piece of pressure-treated lumber which is placed perpendicular to the direction of the panels. 5/4 deck boards ripped lengthwise also serve well. Drive a 3 or 4 inch screw through the panel latch suspension board into the deck joists. Leave space between the joist and the panel latch suspension board to adjust the height and levelness of the ceiling panels. Measure and trim the ceiling panels. Measure the desired length of the ceiling panels from the inside of the gutter to the back side of the wall channel. Deduct 1/4 inch from that measurement to allow for the possibility of thermal expansion. Observe this gap occasionally. If it grows or shrinks noticeably, adjust the length of the next panel. Measure the panel itself from the inside of the formed end to the desired length. Cut the panel. Using the metal bending tool, bend the end of the panel about 45 degrees to the inside. This stiffens the panel from bowing. It has nothing to do with the flow of water. Install the ceiling panels. Rest the hooked end of the panel over the gutter. Insert the other end into the rear wall channel. Push the side of the panel all the way into the side wall channel. Push the panel down onto the gutter and pull the panel sharply toward the rear. You will hear a click as the panel engages onto the gutter. Install the long panel latches. Magnolia devised the long panel latch to support a panel longer than 10 feet. They are installed near the center of the panel's length. Panels 16 feet or longer require 2 latches. A system needing more than 1 latch per panel will be shipped with instructions for spacing the latches. The long panel latches are suspended from a piece of 1x pressure-treated wood. A 5/4 deck board ripped lengthwise will do. The board must be installed so that eventually the top of the panel will be 1 1/2 inches below the support board. It is important that the screw that holds the panel latch to the panel latch suspension board be at the proper distance from the panel, and that they be plumb to the vertical side of the panel. Magnolia supplies a jig for use in piloting the panel latch screws to accomplish this. The hook on the panel latch is placed under the bend of the panel. Compress the spring until there is contact between the hook and the edge of the panel. When the panel is lifted, the latch swings out of the way of the panel's edge. The top edge of the panel must remain 1 1/2 inches from the bottom of the support board. After the panel latch is installed, the 1 1/2 inch clearance remains between the panel and the panel latch suspension board. A long panel may tend to sag slightly of its own weight. Sight along the length of the panel to see if this is the case. If so, adjust the height of the panel latch suspension board to true the panel without disturbing the 1 1/2 inch clearance you just established. The second and subsequent panels are installed similarly to the first. Rest the hooked end of the panel on the gutter. Insert the other end into the back wall channel. Push the panel down onto the gutter and pull the panel sharply toward the rear. Check to see if the panels are being installed square. The reveal from the edge of the wall channel on the panels should be the same on both ends. Install a fan mount. A fan mount should be installed between joists toward the center of the panel and clear of any long panel support boards. With the panel installed, drill a 1-inch hole where the fan is to be located. Assemble the fan mount. Screw the floor flange onto the pipe until it is flush with the end of the pipe. Screw the flat disc onto the other end of the pipe, leaving about 1/2 inch of the threads exposed. Rest the flat disc onto the top of the panel. Measure the distance between the joists above the panel and cut a pressure-treated board to fit loosely between them. Rest the board on top of the floor flange, then mark the circumference of the flange onto the board. Remove the board and the assembled mount, then drill a small hole in the center of the circumference of the flange you marked. Center the flange over the hole and fasten the flange onto the board. Pass a length of UFB wire through the board and pipe, leaving a generous amount to wire the fan. Seal the wire into the board by filling the hole in the board as far as the nozzle will reach, then leading some of the sealant away from the hole. Bend the wire down into the sealant and fasten with the supplied staple. Smooth the sealant around the wire. Take particular care in sealing the fan mount. You will be tugging on the wire as you strip it to connect the fan. Unless you immobilize the wire, it will be easy to break the seal. Place the partially assembled fan mount onto the panel. Apply sealant around the hole in the bottom plate opposite the studs for mounting the fan hardware. Screw the plate onto the pipe. Drill a 1/8 inch hole through the hole in the lower plate and through the upper plate. Drive a stainless steel screw supplied with the system through both plates to prevent them turning relative to one another. Do not omit this step. It is possible for the torque generated by a fan to unscrew the lower plate if this step is not completed. Ensure that the fan mount is not pressing down or lifting up on the panel. A distortion on the panel will cause water to accumulate. Drive one screw through the joist into the mounting board. A second and third screw diagonally through the mounting board into the joist. And a fourth screw through the joist into the mounting board. Swing mounts are installed similarly to fan mounts, the exceptions being that instead of an electrical wire passing through, a heavy eye bolt with a washer and nut above the support board is used. Since the swing mount will be subjected to, swinging back and forth, a wider support board is used with wider spacing of the screws and possibly more of them. 16-inch on-center joist spacing leaves 14.5 inches between the joists. We supply 15-inch wide flashing that fits over the fan and swing mounts between the joists with an upward bow as an added protection against leaks. Seal the upper sides of the flashing against the joists. Continue installing panels until 10 5/8 inches or less are left to the back of the wall channels. Our example at this point shows 2 full panels left. Continue with the long panel latches. Install this panel next to last, but do not lock it into the gutter. Measure from the side of the next to last panel to the back of the wall channel. Measure both ends of your opening. Your deck may not be square. Then deduct 1/2 inch from each measurement. Install the last panel latch if needed. Remove this next to last panel. Transfer the measurements you just made to the last panel. Don't forget to deduct 1/2 inch from the measurement. Mark and trim the panel. The 18 gauge shear shown here is the best solution we have found for this long rip. We have successfully used a circular saw and a table saw. If either of these is your choice, be sure to protect the painted surface. Each system is shipped with at least one custom panel insert strip. Place it as shown over the cut edge for the entire length of the panel. Double check your measurements. Then crimp or rivet the insert strip into the panel. This keeps the insert strip from moving relative to the panel upon insertion into the wall channel. Seal the panel and insert strip together. Cut the panel to length. Then bend the end of the panel to stiffen it. Insert the modified sealing panel in place into the wall channel and over the gutter. The sealing panel is 10 5/8 inches wide. Adjust the opening for the next to last panel to accommodate this. Once the gutter end of the modified panel is in position, lock it onto the gutter. Check and adjust your measurements. When the opening is correct, put the long panel latch in place. Attach a suction cup to either or both ends of the panel. These we show are available in the bathroom section of hardware stores as safety assist bars. Place the panel on the gutter with the flat side down. As the panel is fitted into the wall channel, the overlapping bend will fit into place. When it fits, pull down on the suction cup and back to engage the panel. Engage the panel latch by pushing up on the seam between the last two panels. You will hear a click as the panel latch engages. Tug down on the panel near the location of the panel latch to make sure the latch is engaged. Remove a sealing panel. Attach a suction cup to the panel you wish to remove. Push the suction cup up together with the panel that was installed after it. Relax the lift on the panel with the cup while holding the next panel up. This position shows the panel released and ready to remove. Engaged. Released. After the panel latch is disengaged, slip a stiff blade between the panel and the gutter and pull down to relax the grip of the panel on the gutter. With the suction cup attached, pull the panel toward the gutter and slide it free of the back wall channel. Twist the panel toward the flat side. When the overlapping side of the panel is clear, remove the panel. Replace a panel. Restore the end of the panel that grips the gutter so that the gap is again 1/4 to 3/8 inch. Rest the flat side of the panel on the gutter. Slide the panel in so that it can be inserted into the back wall channel. Slide the panel toward the back wall channel briskly until the panel engages the gutter. Lift the two adjacent panels together until the panel latch engages. We have guided you through the complete installation of the Magnolia Underdeck system, including the removal and replacement of an individual panel. Thank you for your attention.